bring you this big game featuring two of the better teams in the area. And the fact is, both teams have identical records of 4-1, and the loser tonight can just about virtually kiss the playoff chances goodbye in South Jersey Group 4. And Ray's going to tell you a little bit about that picture in just a moment. Ray's also going to tell you a little bit about the Raiders of Toms River East. I'm going to tell you about Southern Regional. We saw them last week in our game of the week as they defeated Toms River North Mariners. Southern Regional got an early lead in that game due to some mistakes by the Mariners, and then Toms River North moved the football on them in the second half. Turned out to be an interesting ball game with both teams going up and down the field. Now, the question was, Southern Regional looking ahead to this big showdown tonight with Toms River East? Are the Mariners of Toms River North that good of an offensive team that they made Southern Regional's defense give up some yardage? We don't know. But tonight we're going to find out, because this is a good Toms River East football club that the Rams are going to take on tonight. Again, the great running combination, Chris Zulewski, the junior, and John Mouthy, the senior for Southern Regional. They work very well together. They block for each other. You heard Zulewski on the post-game show last week as a player of the game say that he enjoys blocking more than he does running. And, of course, the big quarterback, John Seddon for Southern. And there's some stories that Penn State has some scouts here tonight to look at John Seddon, and then they'll go down and look at Pete Panuska Brick tomorrow at Central Regional. So Southern Regional wants this game very badly. We watched them come out for the warm-ups. They're very fired up, and John Mouthy was leading the cheers over in that warm-up huddle as they came on the field tonight. Ray, what about the Raiders and George Jeck's Toms River East Club?
Okay, Ken, tonight a big ball game, as you hit it right on the head. It is playoff time, and to give a quick look at the playoff picture in South Jersey, Brick Township is 5-0, and they've accumulated 10 quality points. Camden, Southern Regional, and Toms River East all stand at 4-1 with 8 quality points. Behind them, Edgewood, Vineland, Cherry Hill East, and Pennsauken all stand at 3-2. So tonight's ball game is going to have a definite bearing on the effects of the South Jersey tournament, and also, Ken, the possibility of some rematches taking place later on. To get down to the Toms River East Raiders, and a quote by George Jeck in the papers this week, he said, "We'd really like to beat Southern," and I think that sums it up. We'd really like to beat Southern next week, were the exact words that Coach George Jeck said, and I think we got an exciting football game tonight. The Raiders offensively will be led by Scott, Slevin, and Schiavo in the offensive backfield. Coach Jeck has said that he's possibly going to play this game a little bit more aggressively. Fans are used to the conservative ground-pounding attack of the Raiders, but I would look for the Toms River East to open the game up a little bit tonight. They may be throwing the ball to their good-looking tight end. They have Jay McKelvey up front, Verderosa, and Seigler will be doing the blocking, and the Silver Bullet offense is going to have to control the ball and keep it away from Southern Rams and try to eat up some clock and score, maybe up using 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes in their drives. Defensively, the Raiders will stay in their 4 and play aggressively, and the defense is the pride of Coach Ed Sarluca. Bob Chevrier at linebacker, Scott in the defensive backfield, and of course Jim Verderosa on the defensive line have been outstanding. The kicking game seems to be a big question mark in this game, not only for East, but for the Southern Regional Rams. East has to stop the ground game of Southern, because once they get that ground game established, they go to their passing game, and they do feature a good quarterback. Ken, I'm looking for a great ball game. It's Halloween. I'm looking for a lot of tricks and a lot of treats out here tonight for the fans.
Okay, the reason why both these teams have to win tonight, of course, to stay alive in South Jersey Group 4 playoff contention, is because both of them lost to the Brick Green Dragons. This is the interesting comparative score. East lost by a score of 17-8 after scoring first in that ball game early in the first quarter at Brick, while Southern lost 14-6 on their home field in Manahawkin. Now, we broadcast the game with Toms River East and Brick. We saw it. We know that overall Brick outplayed East in that ball game, and Pete Panuska dominated with his running for the Green Dragons. However, we didn't see the game down at Southern Regional, at least I didn't. We were broadcasting another game that day, but from all reports that I got from people that were there, the Southern Regional Rams outplayed the Green Dragons of Brick. They did contain Pete Panuska, and that may be an interesting fact in tonight's matchup. You have to make the Rams of Southern a favorite by about 6 points, I would think, going into tonight, although this is the home field advantage for Toms River East. But off that Brick game, I'd have to say that the Rams come in tonight as the favorite to win tonight's ball game. But again, as Ray said, It is Halloween, and George Jeck's a great coach. He's got a great football team here at East, so anything can happen. We said the Brick East game was probably the highlight of our schedule this year. Well, this game right here has to rank very close to that game. These are the two top ball games we're going to do all season, at least on paper. So Ray and I, it's time to meet the players, so Ray and I are going to have the introductions of the Toms River East Raiders right now. Now we're going to meet the starting defensive unit for the home team, the Raiders at Toms River East, as they come into this game with their 4-1 record. Gentlemen, go ahead.
Chuck Seigler, 5'10", 220, DT.
That's defensive tackle.
Chris Schultz, 6 foot, 200, DT.
Another defensive tackle.
Vinnie Gearity, 5'5", 150, defensive halfback.
Okay, Vinnie.
Jim Verderosa, 6'1", 230 pounds, defensive end.
All right, big Jim Verderosa.
Bob Chevrier, outside linebacker.
Mark Yates, 5'9", 150, halfback. Joe Scott, 5'11", 160, safety.
Tony Infante, 5'10", 175, linebacker.
Jay McKelvey, 6'3", 190, defensive end.
Chris Schiavo, 6'2", 220, linebacker.
Sal Tirella, 5'9", 155, defensive back.
Al Zulewski, linebacking coach.
Now, don't go away. I'm going to ask you what your linebackers got to worry about tonight against a fine offensive team like Southern Regional.
Well, I think number 1 would be stopping Mouth, the off tackle.
And number 2?
Number 2 is watching Seddon on his bootlegs.
Okay, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Joe Tirella, defensive secondary.
All right, Joe, tell me about your defensive secondary. You're going to go against one of the better quarterbacks in the shore area, and Seddon, what are you going to concentrate on tonight?
Have to stop him throwing a Blackwell and a Tilton. We shut them down. We're in the game.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, and our other coach?
Ed Sarluca, defensive line coach.
All right, overall, Ed, you're the defensive coordinator. What have you been telling your kids defensively this week?
Well, we're playing an excellent offensive football team in Seddon and Mouthy and Zulewski and Blackwell. They've got, every position is great. We just hope to play a solid game. We think we've prepared well. We know they have offensively, so we're looking for a great football game. It's going to be a hard-hitting football game.
How do you compare them offensively to Brick? They don't have the game breaker and a guy like Panuska, but do you think maybe they have a little more balance or a little more power?
I think they have much more power. They don't have the speed that Brick has. Nor do I think Ryerson is a little bit more shiftier than Seddon, but Seddon is a much powerful runner. I feel if we can contain Seddon on the corners, we're going to make him do something that he doesn't really like to do, and that's run the ball inside.
I guess the kids are aware that as far as the state playoffs, this is a do or die tonight.
Is that true?
Well, that's what the paper says.
We don't read the papers. We just want to beat Southern. That's all.
Okay, you just want to win the game tonight.
That's
all
it.
Right.
Then we'll start thinking playoffs.
Ed, have a good game.
Thanks a lot, Ken.
Okay, Ed Sarluca, the defensive coach of the Raiders of Toms River East. And as he said, they're just worried about beating Southern Regional tonight. They're not thinking about the playoffs. And we'll be back, Ray and I, with the opening kickoff in a moment. Toms River East just making their appearance on the field behind Southern Regional. East in their home, black shirts, black pants, silver helmets, and silver numerals. Southern Regional in the traveling white shirts, gold pants, and black numerals. The captains, Jimmy Verderosa, number 77 for East on the right, and Chris Schiavo, number 47 on the left. The captains for Southern 71, I believe, is Tony Priolo. That's Blake Keenan tonight. Okay. 39, John Mouthy, standing on the right of your screen. And let's see who the other number is. I haven't seen his shirt yet, facing this way on the left. The other captain for Southern Regional is number 73. That is Priolo, Tony Priolo. The first quarter tonight will come your way by the New Jersey National Bank and the other participating sponsors for the first quarter, the House of Paneling, Richards Motors South, and Carolina Furniture. I'm Ken Turp. With me, Ray Wilson. We're just about ready to go with tonight's big ball game. Let's run down the offensive backfield for Southern Regional, since Ronnie Emmer prefers not to introduce his players before the game. We'll run them down now. John Seddon, 22, is the quarterback. John Mouthy, number 39, the fullback. There you see George Jeck, the coach of the Raiders, facing the camera, talking to his team before they take the field. The tailback will be Paul McMahon, number 48 for Southern, although Chris Zulewski has actually been playing more than McMahon. McMahon concentrating on defense. Zulewski will wear number 45. The flanker is Bob Ferenga for the Rams, number 28. The split end will be Bob Blackwell, number 21, and the tight end, John Tilton, number 80. And Tilton has really blossomed this year into an outstanding receiver, along with Blackwell. Tom Zavarice is going to kick off. Jimmy Verderosa, number 77, will do the honors for the Raiders. And here come the Rams. They'll go right to left.
Ken, talking to the Raider coaching staff before the game, they kind of feel that Coach Ron Emmert's going to let it all out tonight and put some of his exciting Emmerich offense into effect, and we might see a lot of razzle-dazzle.
The officials tonight are Ray. Who are the officials?
Okay, the referee is Wilbur Van Linton. The umpire is Bob Lehman. The head linesman is Tony Bovino. The field judge is Howie Dombrowski, and the timer is Robert Putz.
Dropping back for Southern is Brett Glynn, number 46, to the near side of the field. Ferenga to the far side. And looks like McMahon in the center. He's going to go to the far side. Ferenga, 10, 15, 20. And about the 23-yard line where he's going to go down. 1st and 10 for the Southern Regional Rams. Ray, weather-wise tonight, we got a very strong wind. The rain has held off. We had a lot of drizzling before the game, but right now, no rain at all. As Pete Bush told me before the game, assistant coach for Tom Zavarice, as they warmed up, he said, this is a beautiful night for the kids to play football. He likes this kind of weather to play football in. Cold, breezy. First carry of the ball game is Mouthy. Off the right side, behind the block of Modulowski, number 45, the other back in that split backfield.
Possibly, Ken, the only thing that the wind will hold up tonight is the kicking game, and it's a question mark for both teams.
Pick up a 2, 2nd and 8. The ball is resting on the 30-yard line. Got to keep that door shut. Quarterback option, Seddon. Loose ball, and the Raiders are going to get it. Seddon made a bad pitch. Modulowski never had a chance. And look at the Raiders here. It's Sarluca, Conlon, they're all going crazy down there in front of the Raider bench. Excellent break for Tom Zavarice as they recover the errant pitch, and they'll take over 1st and 10 at the Southern Regional 27-yard line. Here comes the East Raiders over the football. The center is Chris Schultz. Quarterback Joe Scott. Slevin in motion. Chiarella tripped up as the wingback came around from right to left, and shooting in there was number 60 for Southern Regional, Chris Bulow, who we're not too familiar with, getting a chance to play tonight. Ray?
Ken, just going back to the fumble, the East defensive team played that very well. They contained it, forced it wide, and everybody was covered.
It's a loss of 3, 2nd and 13 for East. Scott hands off to Slevin. Slevin cuts it inside and picks up a few yards. Brett Glenn, number 46. McMahon, a safety, 48. For Southern Regional on the tackle.
And the Rams are sticking to their basic 5 defense, and they looked at like they're favoring a little bit to the wing or the strong side of the East offense.
Ray, I didn't get a change from Ronnie Emmert on Bulow playing in place of Hoagland at nose tackle for Southern, but that's the number we got, number 60. 3rd and 9. Chiarella in motion. Scott to throw to the far side, incomplete, intended for Slevin, down the far sideline. Brett Glenn on the coverage for the Rams. It's going to bring up a 4th and 9.
Ken, of course, Brett Glenn is the young man that played so well in the Southern Regional victory over St. Joe's early in the year.
Coach George Jeck sends on the punting unit. They'll try to bottle the Rams up deep in their own territory. And Verderosa tying his shoe there, and now they throw the kicking tee on. We might try a field goal here, right? Let's see what they're going to do. They threw the tee on.
Yeah, I thought that was why he was adjusting his shoe. I'm concerned a little bit about the time here. Now they had to take a timeout.
All right, East timeout. They're going to set that kicking tee up. So Verderosa is going to attempt the field goal, and they'll mark the tee has been placed at the 34-yard line. So we're going to have a 44-yard attempt if they go through with it and don't fake it.
Ken, so far both defensive units have, of course, East only had to go one play, but the Southern Regional defensive unit played very well considering the field position that they were put in.
George Jeck coming out of that huddle. I got the story behind the hat that George Jeck wears, and when we get a chance, I'll fill the fans in. I was talking to George one night recently, and I'll tell you what the story is. Somebody asked me if there's a story behind a hat, why George always wears a hat. So that'll give me something to talk about during one of our timeouts.
It's not lack of any hair, is it?
No, it has nothing to do with losing your hair or anything like that. There you see George on the sidelines. All right, here we go. The holder is Mark Yatesy. Look at this strong kick. Wide, but he had the distance, Ray.
Yeah, distance was good. It was wide to the right. And the Rams will take over 1st and 10.
Got a good snap from Chris Schultz, too. So the Rams take over, and they go on offense for the second time tonight. The story is, Ray, that in the early days at Brick had a dust bowl. The grass was not growing too well when they started football at Brick. And George Jeck had an allergic reaction to the dust in his hair. And somebody suggested, either a doctor or somebody, that he wear a hat. And ever since then, it's been his trademark. And there you see George with his hat. All right, Rams, Seddon pitches back to Modulowski. And Modulowski trying to get around that corner. And he's ridden out of bounds, and some hard tackling over there.
Just a
Chirella.
Quick pitch, Ken, to the offensive right hand, and they pulled the tackle, leading it around that side.
Going to get a gain of 5 yards, 2nd and 5 for Southern Regional. John Tilton is the tight end, number 80, and Bob Blackwell, number 21, is the split end. Ferenga, the flanker, is going to come in the slot here to the near side. Blackwell is wearing 10 tonight. He's been changing numbers on us. Offsides.
I had a little bit of everything there, Ken. We had a back moving. And
I said Blackwell was 21. He's back to 10. His road uniform is 10. And he switched numbers at home. He went from 10 to 21. It's 10 tonight for Blackwell. Illegal procedure, 5-yard penalty against the Rams. Pushes the ball back to the 20. 2nd and 10. Ferenga is the flanker to the near side. Now he's going to come way out. Split backfield. Modulowski runs into a wall. What a hit. Schiavo, 47. Modulowski bounced right off of him backwards.
Yeah, the East coaching staff is very high on that young man. They had a lot of good things to say about him in the pregame.
Schiavo, 47, calling those defensive signals. He is the left inside linebacker. 3rd and 10 for the Rams. Setting the throw, and he tried to hit the short man. That was Tilton, the tight end. Incomplete, and the Rams will have to punt the football.
Now we got to look at one of the question marks in the game right now, in the kicking game. For the Southern Regional Rams.
Dropping back for Toms of East, Pat Slevin, 28. Vinnie Gearity, 24. And Mark Yatesy will be the up man, number 7, in the middle. Ed Estock, number 17, a punt. This is going to let it roll. Going to take us east bounce and down immediately by Tony Priol, number 73 of the Rams. So excellent field position for George Jeck's Raiders as they take over 1st and 10 at the Southern Regional 46.
Sure, Ken, on the basis of that punt, you can see why the Ram coaching staff, or not necessarily the Ram coaching staff, but why people have said that is one of the question marks in the game.
That offensive line, Chuck Seigler at right guard, 66. Jim Martin at left guard, 62. Chris Schultz, the center, 56. Jim Verderosa, right tackle, number 77. Scott hands off to Slevin, lost the football. Scott dove for it. Let's see if he got it. The Southern man right on it. And they do say, no, Southern recovers. Joe Scott doesn't like the call. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Southern at midfield.
There was either a down, the nose man or a linebacker shot right through there and created a little havoc in the Raider backfield.
So each team has turned the ball over in a fumble early here in the game. Blackwell comes out to the near side, slot formation. Setting to throw to Blackwell. He's got him at the 45 and covered immediately by number 24, Vinnie Gearity.
Little play action, fake dive, and Seddon straightened it up and threw a little quick out pass to Seddon. Look-in pass.
Gain is going to be 4, 2nd and 6 for Southern. The Rams coming off the win over Toms River North at home last week. Toms River East coming off a victory over the Jackson Jaguars. Another quick toss, picked off. That's Bob Chevrier who picked that ball off, and he returns it to the Southern Regional 44-yard line. Seddon tried to hit the quick throw. Chevrier stepped right in there. We're going to get a replay on this, Ray.
Yeah, Chevrier was as a good linebacker. The Raider coaching staff is high on him, and he reads the play very, very well. And it's a play that Southern Regional likes, and you do have to stop it. And you can see him drifting right out into the flat.
The intended receiver, Blackwell, makes the tackle for Southern Regional. 1st and 10 Raiders. Pat Slevin. And he's tackled by McMahon, the safety man. Now that's Brett Glynn, 46, the corner.
Flag on the play there.
Let's see what the penalty is. Apparently against the Raiders.
And on that particular pass play that the Rams showed there twice in a row, things that I've seen, Southern Regional has a tendency to come back and run a play that does go.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. To the east 40-yard line, 1st and 25. Scott rolling, looking for a man. Throws on the run. And that's almost picked off by McMahon, number 48. Scott trying to find his man while he was on the run. And incomplete. He was trying to throw to number 36, Bob Valente, the split end.
It was good blocking, good protection by the Raiders, and the man was open, and Scott just didn't quite hit his target there.
I mentioned Verderosa is the right tackle. Terry Morris, 76, is the left tackle. Valente is the split end, number 36. He alternates with Dom Patalunas, number 82. 2nd down, 25. Scott again to throw. He's rolling to the near side once again. Pressured by Giannotti, and Ken Giannotti brings him down from behind. Ken Giannotti, number 70, defensive end, our player of the game last week on defense, along with Chris Modulowski, the offensive player of the game, in our Channel 8 game that Southern beat Toms River North last Saturday.
And of interest there, Ken, people saw Giannotti chasing the quarterback down, and Giannotti only stands 6'1", 215, and he moves very, very well.
Giannotti is the left end for Southern. And Priol's right next to him, number 73. We mentioned the nose man is number 60 on our roster, a new man for Southern, and that is Chris Beulah. We don't know what the story is on Hoagland. High formation. Slevin gets a few yards, but they need a lot of them.
Ken, I think another one of the interesting factors in this ballgame is that both teams, both head coaches have super defensive coordinators working for them. And, that really is a bonus to a head coach. Ed Sarluca for George Jeck and Tony Semarini for the Southern Regional Rams of Ron Emory.
4th down from the Raider 45. They're going to have to punt. Verderosa drops back. Looking to return Blackwell and McMahon for Southern Regional. High punt, very high, not too long. McMahon comes up for it at the 20 and gets to the 24-yard line where he is down by the Raiders. 1st and 10 for Southern Regional.
Ken, we're down to the 4:11 mark in this first quarter of this exciting football game, and so far it's been a battle of the defenses. The defenses have dominated, forced mistakes, but nobody's been able to capitalize.
Let's see if we can pick up that front four for East. Verderosa's the right end, number 77. Seigler, 66, is on that front four. Pick up a couple of yards by the quarterback. Should be 2nd down and about 8 coming up.
Chiarella with the tackle.
Chiarella made the stop for Toms River East. I'm going to give him a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6. Jay McKelvey, 87, is the left end, so it's Verderosa and McKelvey playing end tonight on defense for East. Up the middle goes Mouthy, tackled by number 34, Chevrier, who picked off that Seddon pass a little while ago. Let's pick up on the tackles here. I think Seigler is one of the tackles, 66. Let's get the number of the other tackle, because Verderosa's moved out to end tonight. See if we can get the left tackle. 76, is it?
I can't quite see the number.
3rd down and 4. Blitz. They sent Seigler right up the middle. There's a flag on a play.
John Seddon on the keeper, flag on the play.
Against
I
the
think we had
Rams.
some movement in the line, and they
Illegal procedure penalty assessed against the Rams. 3rd and about 9 yards to go.
Ken, I still can't quite pick that number out.
56, I believe. Chris Schultz.
6 foot, 190-pound sophomore.
Seddon dropping way back, setting up a screen. Yep, incomplete. Trying to hit Mouthy on the screen. Never really developed, right?
No, Seddon also seems to be throwing the ball a little bit off balance. He seems to be moving backwards as he's throwing the ball, not setting his feet.
Good pressure applied by 56, Chris Schultz.
So we had Jay McKelvey and Verderosa, the defensive ends, and Seigler and Schultz on that front four for the Raider defense. Estock, punt. Vinnie Gearity is all by himself. For East to return. He's going to go right to Gearity in a 45. And he's hit right away at the 47. Mouthy, McMahon, and number 51 in on the stop for Southern. That would be Rob Robinson, the offensive center. There's the clock. Nearing the 2-minute mark. No score. Neither team able to get its offense going yet in this game. Chiarella tried to come around on the wingback inside handoff play. Again, it didn't go anywhere. That's twice they've run it, and twice he's been stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a beautiful defensive play there by the number 60 for the Southern Region Rams duo. Ken, let's just go over that. I listened to Schultz as a sophomore, which the program has him listed at, but he is a senior.
Yeah, Schultz is one of those 3-year veterans, along with Seigler and Verderosa on that line for the Raiders. Slevin lost the football. Raiders recover.
Fumble recovered by Schiavo.
Looked like he had a hole, but the Rams closed it very quickly. Schiavo fell on the ball, saved the day for the Raiders.
Ken, there's a lot of good defensive football going on out there tonight. And the fumbles that are occurring, of course, the offensive coaches aren't happy. The defense people are. There's a lot of good hitting going on.
Tony Sermarini, the defensive coach for Southern. Ed Sarluca, the defensive coach for the Raiders. Slevin goes in motion. Scott straight back. Going long. He's got a man open. Chiarella's got it. And a flag on the play. Sal Chiarella at the 10-yard line. He got behind McMahon. He had to wait for that ball, and it gave McMahon a chance to recover.
Yeah, it was a super play. You'll see a little bit of defensive pressure here by Southern Regional. Scott puts the ball out, and he makes a great catch, and he was interfered with at the same time. So it was a super catch. Gennady put some defensive pressure on Scott, but he hung in there and delivered the ball. And Ken, as we said, Coach Jeck said he was going to be a little bit more aggressive with his offense, and they are.
38-yard play. Junior quarterback Joe Scott, the senior wingback Sal Chiarella. 38 yards on the play. 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. I'm sorry, 14-yard line. I formation, Slevin the tailback. Schiavo the fullback. Scott, quarterback sneak. Nothing. 3 or 4 white shirts lead the charge for the Rams. Zulewski's in there, number 45, the linebacker. Glynn, 46, was in there. And there's the end of the first quarter. And we have no score. The first quarter is over. We'll take a break and come right back. New Jersey National Bank, along with Carolina Furniture, Richards Motors South, and House of Paneling. Bringing you the second quarter, New Jersey National Bank, along with Marita's Skiers Place, Dunkin' Donuts of Bayville, and Carolina Furniture. I'm Ken Turp with Ray Wilson, Tom Zavries and Southern Regional. Our game of the week, no score, as we start the second quarter.
Ken, another interesting thing there was first down for the Raiders on their 14-yard line, and the Southern Regional defense appeared to be almost in a goal line, and East ran a quarterback sneak. It was either good scouting and super preparation possibly on the part of the Rams.
Here come the Raiders, 2nd and 11. Pitch to Slevin, right inside. Slevin inside the 5-yard line. Beautiful run by Slevin. Good blocking by that Raider front wall. Paul McMahon, a safety. The last one had a shot. That Slevin made the tackle.
It was a super job by the Raider line, and particularly it looked like number 62, Jim Martin, did a real fine job for the Raiders.
Timeout for a measurement.
Timeout for a measurement.
Ball just across the 5. Verderosa standing there, number 77, the captain for the Raiders, watching that measurement. And it's going to be inches short. I'll bring up a 3rd down.
At the 5-yard line, short just by inches for another Raider first
That was a
down.
nice play, Ken. A little quick pitch, pulled the guard. Martin let it up in there and did a super job with it.
Chris Schultz leads the Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. Up over the ball to center for the Tom Zavries club. Here we go. Quick count. Schiavo straight ahead. Behind his left tackle and left guard. Should have the first down easily.
First down, Raiders.
1st and goal for Tom Zavries.
Resting at the 3-yard line.
That's a good first down. Coaches like to get those when now they have 4 downs to get the ball in from inside the 5-yard line.
Adam Glanzman, number 86, a junior, replaces Jay McKelvey at tight end for the Raiders with a play from Coach George Jeck. Again, the quick count. No touchdown. Number 70, Gennady, stacks it up. They ran off the right side.
Stopped by Gennady.
Ball carrier was Schiavo.
I think what's happening here, the Raiders are trying to get out, get down quick so that the Rams do not pick up any keys such as the tight end and set their monster or the strength of their defense to that tight end.
Linebackers are Malley and Modulowski. Tilton is the other defensive end with Gennady. Brett Glenn, Bob Blackwell, Paul McMahon, John Sedden at secondary for Southern Regional. 2nd and goal.
Unbalanced.
Schiavo does not make it.
I think that might have been an unbalanced line there also, Ken. Is another reason they're coming out and setting up quick so they gain an advantage on the defense.
Malley, 39, a linebacker, was up there. Modulowski, the other linebacker, and number 74 for Southern, also in on a stop, Al Acosta.
Earlier this year, Ken, we saw the Raiders run the unbalanced line with a lot of success against Toms River North.
Third and goal. Here come the Raiders. Split backfield. Wing right. Scott rolls to the right. Behind Slevin. And he's got a touchdown. 1 yard run for Joe Scott for the touchdown. The time, 9 minutes and 40 seconds of the second period. So East jumps out in front, 6-0.
That was a
Here's a replay.
nice play. Looking inside, and everybody expecting the play off tackle, and Scott kept the ball and put pressure on the corner.
Ran right between his guard who pulled out, Chuck Seigler, and Slevin, who was the lead back, number 28. Verderosa attempting to kick. Yatesy holding. Very strong kick, and it's good. Verderosa adds the extra point. Toms River East leading 7-0.
Now 2 key plays there, Ken. Of course, the touchdown and the pass from Joe Scott to Sal Chiarella, a 38-yard pass to put the ball down on the Southern Regional 14-yard line.
Reminder, we have a doubleheader again this weekend on Channel 8, and our game that you will see tomorrow night on Channel 8 at 8 o'clock will be an interesting matchup. The new guys in town, the Lacey Lions, will be hosting the old guys, the Indians of Toms River South. Now that is a potential C Division school. Actually Group 1 this year, Lacey Township against, I guess South is, are they Group 3 or Group 4 now? Group 3, and they are an A Division school.
And South is Group 3. South is 3-2-0, and South also playing good football and has an outside shot at the South Jersey tournament.
And that's a battle of coaches who were very strong in Monmouth County. Chip LaBarca, the new South coach, who had a great program at Keensburg, a small school, and of course Lou Versillo at the larger Red Bank school, where he had a very strong Class B program. So they'll go at it tomorrow, the 2 new coaches in Ocean County. And you will see that game at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Channel 8. Well, I understand Lacey's having some injury problems, Ray, and especially at the quarterback position. Kevin Smith injured a finger and may not be able to handle the ball too well. They may have to go to Scott Ward, the backup quarterback.
Well, that would be a blow to the Lacey offense, as Smith has done an outstanding job.
Ready to go with the kickoff here. There you see Jim Verderosa waiting for the signal to kick off. He just added the extra point as East has a 7-0 lead early in the second quarter. End over end, Blackwell trying to get around the wall.
He does have some room.
He does, he's got some speed across midfield. Good return by Blackwell. Run out of bounds by Pat Slevin. Blackwell took that at about the 30, and he returned it to the 40. I'm going to mark it about the, I'm going to mark it back short of midfield, 47-yard line. 17-yard return by Blackwell, Bob Blackwell of Southern Regional.
And that gives the Rams some good field position, some good momentum to get their offense rolling.
Seddon hands off to Mouthy, stopped in his tracks. 87, Jay McKelvey, right there to meet him head on.
Yeah, this McKelvey kid has improved game by game from what I've seen with the Toms River Rays. A good-sized kid, 6'3", 190 pounds, good-looking young football player.
Those linebackers, Chevrier's 34, Schiavo 47, Yatesy's number 7. Pressure is on. Seddon throws as he goes down, and there's McKelvey once again putting the heat on Seddon.
Yeah, not to go back to the kid. He's a big and he's a fast, good-sized kid with good speed, and he just chased that quarterback right down. It's tough for the quarterback to throw with a 6'3" kid chasing you.
That's secondary for Toms River East. Joe Scott is the safety man, number 8. Sal Chirella, number 21 to the near side. Vinnie Gearity, number 24 to the far side for Toms River East. 3rd and 10. Seddon throws the quick out, almost picked off by number 38, Tony Infante. He's the new starter tonight. Infante, 5'9", 175, a junior, and he is the new linebacker tonight. He's going to play a combination linebacker and defensive back.
Tell you, the Raider defense looks outstanding tonight. They're coming off the ball well. They're nothing up the middle for the Rams, and their linebackers and defensive backs are playing really super.
Snap over the head of Estock. He goes back to get it. Hudson blocked. Blocked by 34, Chevrier. And the Raiders have the football at the 20-yard line, 15-yard line, right?
Ken, once again, as we mentioned early in the broadcast, that the kicking game was one of the question marks, and the Rams are in trouble, and their kicking game has put them there now.
1st and 10 for Toms River East. Chevrier blocked it, although Estock never really had a chance. He gave it the effort. He made the effort to get that football away, but he never had a chance to get it off. There was black shirts coming in all over him, and Chevrier got a piece of the football. Schiavo right straight ahead, up the middle. Crosses over the 15 to about the 13. On the bottom of the stack is John Tilton, the right end, number 80.
Ken, we got 8:23 here to go in the second quarter. A lot of time, and the Raiders are threatening.
Number 44 comes in for Toms River East, Glenn Clark. He'll be in that backfield.
Ken, I think one thing to look for here, the fans can look for, is let's see if East continues to come out and go on quick counts, trying to stop the Southern defense from keying.
It'll be 2nd down and 7. We have an official's timeout here. Ronnie Emmert's talking across the way there to the official. You'll see him on the right of your screen there where the 20-yard line marker is.
Yeah, I don't know what the discussion was over there, Ken, but it apparently was something that the Rams were justifiably in talking about.
Wing left. And here comes Gearity trying to come around a corner. Good pursuit. Seddon makes the tackle along with Tilton for the Rams. Going to lose yardage on that one.
Yeah, the Rams played that very, very well. I would look again possibly for the Raiders to go back to that quick pitch. I'd look for Scott to keep the ball and possibly some form of a pop pass right over the middle.
So the loss of 5 on a play. 3rd and 12 for East. Chirella goes in motion to the far side. Scott to throw. Plenty of time. He tries to run out of the pocket, and he's not going to go anywhere. He avoided Tilton. And number 70, Gennady, comes in. There is a flag, probably against Southern.
Yeah, that was a foolish play by the young man here. He's being aggressive, but it was a foolish play.
Well, he had East stop there as Scott could not get out of the pocket. But this penalty is going to help the Raiders out. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. Here's the replay, Ray.
Yeah, I'm sure that you'll see it here. The Southern coaching staff is just over there. You know, they're shaking. Here's Scott back in the pocket. The pressure's being put on. You see him go down here, and here comes Johnny, and he could have avoided him. He knows it.
Number 74, Al Acosta, was the man who brought down Scott after he avoided Tilton. Tilton got an arm around him, and then Gennady came in with a late hit.
See, Ken, this is what we would be talking about, 4th and 12 to 15, and now we're talking about 4th and 2.
George Jeck fixes his hat and goes on the field to join the huddle.
Yeah,
Don't have to worry too much about dust here at Tom's River. He's got a nice field. The old days at Brick was a different story.
Yeah, I remember that field.
I can remember a headline in the old Ocean County Sun about the game being played in the Dust Bowl at Brick Township High School. Now, of course, they got a beautiful facility over at Brick. But in the early days, it was quite a mess over there.
Ocean County Sun, that's bringing back a little
Yes.
trivia.
We have a timeout. The clock shows 7:04 left in the first half. If you join us late, we had a very defensive game in the first quarter, no scoring. And then the Raiders took advantage of some miscues by the Rams and jumped out in front with a touchdown, highlighted by a Joe Scott 38-yard pass to Sal Chirella, which set up the score. And Scott took it in on a keeper, 1-yard run around the right end.
Yeah, Ken, I would also like to comment on Joe Scott from the beginning of the year and earlier when we saw him. I think Scott's a much improved quarterback at this stage of the season.
4th and 2. Here we go. All kinds of shifting here by the Raiders. Long counter, trying to draw him off sides, and it didn't work. Joe Scott calls timeout. Well, they tried to draw him off with that big shift. That didn't work. Then Scott went with a long count, and that didn't work either.
Well, Ken, I think it even goes back a step further, and the Ram defense is to be complimented for their discipline right there. But the Raiders came out of the huddle quick, and they've been going on quick counts. So I think what they wanted to do, come out quick and get all those people moving, hoping that the Rams would think that was the snap. The Ram defense held there. They were watching the ball and didn't move.
Ray, I know it's Halloween, and there's a lot of things going on this weekend, but where are the Southern fans with an outstanding team that they have?
Yeah.
Looking across the way, and very disappointed the turnout they have.
Yeah, Ken, that is amazing now that you pointed out the Rams, the visiting stands are not filled to the
There you see a
capacity
shot.
I thought they would
If
be.
you go down to the left side, there's all kinds of empty seats on the left end of those bleachers.
Cameraman's right-handed, Ken.
There you see sparse, what you would call sparse stands as far as people. And there you see all the empty seats down at the far left end. Well, the East Raiders now have to do it over again, 4th and 2. Scott bootleg to the near side. And it's going to be very close.
Very close, Ken.
McMahon came up to make the stop. See where they're going to mark that football. He was chased out of bounds by Tilton, Glynn. Tilton and Glynn on the bottom of the tackle.
Al Acosta, number 74 for the Rams, almost made the big play in the backfield. And I think we're probably going to get a measurement out of this. I noticed Tony Semarini going off the field there after that timeout, talking to the official about something and trying to get his attention.
You see Jimmy Verderosa, he's going to stand over this one very closely. Watch this measurement. They bring the chains in from across the way. Rams say no. Priola says we held.
Yep.
And they did. Big defensive play by the Rams.
Well, we got 6:54, enough time for Southern Regional to come back, put some points on the board.
Glynn and Tilton combining on that stop along with the rest of that defensive unit making a play. Let's see if the offense can get them out of the hole. They'll take over on the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's run down that offensive unit for Southern. We haven't done that yet. The tackles, we have Priola in there, number 73. Let's take a break. We'll come right back. Some changes for Southern Regional. Tony Priola, 73, should be the right tackle. We've got George Acosta, 76, next to Priola, so now they're changing around. George Acosta is going to go to the left side at guard. 64 is Gus Acosta. We've got 3 Acostas playing tonight, 1 on defense, 2 playing on offense. Gus is the right guard, 64. Rob Robinson is still the same. He is the center, 51. Let's see if we can get the left tackle. Blake Keenan possibly, 71. Gazicki has not been playing. Now, I don't know whether he's been hurt or what. 71 is Blake Keenan, the left tackle. Straight ahead. Malvey gets the call. Tackle made by Infante, number 38.
Yeah, Southern split their backs wide that time and ran a straight dive with Malthy off of the right side.
2nd down and 5.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5 for the Rams. Glynn splits to the far side. Again, they go straight up the middle. Again, Malvey. Short of the 1st down. The tackle by Verderosa and Seigler.
Of course, Ken, the Ram offense Ron Emmert has a reputation for being a coach that pulls out all the stops and runs a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff, but the Ram offense is very basic, and they establish a few plays and try to make them go.
I said short of the 1st down, they're going to measure it, and they do have it just by about an inch. They got a 1st down. For letterheads, envelopes, posters, flyers, business forms, invitations, and all your printing needs, it's the Office Copy Center Printing Company of Toms River, home of the one-day business card. Call 349-4611. That's 349-4611. Seddon hits Tilton on the slant in, and Tilton has another 1st down for the Rams. Scott came up from safety to make the stop at the 35.
Little play action, fake inside, look in. The Rams have been running play action and going to the hitch pass. That time they ran it and threw the pop pass.
Fake to the fullback and pops it over the middle. Again, Glenn is flanked to the far side. Up the middle goes Malvey. Flag on a play.
Straight ahead, flag on the play. Seigler makes the tackle.
Seigler and Schultz on a stop for Toms River East, holding penalty. They talk to Chris Schiavo, the defensive captain.
Of course, you can see that a lot of the Ram offense comes off that dive. They set up a lot of play action by faking the basic dive play.
So a big penalty moves the ball back. 15-yard line.
1st down and 25.
1st and 25 for Southern Regional.
Every big play the Rams have made tonight, or the last 2 big plays they made, have been followed by penalties.
Ferenga flanked this time to the far side. Here goes Zulewski off the right side of the line, straight ahead. Bring up 3rd down. And again, long yardage. They need about 20.
Rams do not have good field position, and we're talking about a potential kicking situation coming up here very shortly.
Seddon runs the and keeps it. And finally ridden down.
Short gain on the play.
Making the stop was Schiavo on the ankle tackle.
Schiavo, 47.
The Rams are preoccupied with Verderosa. They did a heck of a job on him over here on the weak side.
Clock showing 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the half. Tom Zarice leading Southern Regional 7-0. Southern held on the last drive by the Raiders and have moved it out. The penalties have hurt them on this drive. Mouthy trying to go straight ahead. Chevrier 34, Scott number 8, and Schiavo 47 combined on the stop for the East Raiders.
Can they move the ball on this drive? It's that 15-yard penalty that killed them. They got back the majority of that penalty, but just wasn't enough.
So the Raiders dropped their return men back to the 35-yard line of East. Slevin to the near side, Gearity to the far side. Estock, this time will try. Last time he got the ball snapped over his head and had it blocked. He drops the snap this time. He managed to get it off, but it's not going to go very far. It's going to bounce around the 45-yard line and be down by Southern to the 46. So the Rams are really having trouble on their snaps.
Ken, I was watching Coach Ron Emmerich on that one, and I think he just looked down at the ground and total exasperation over there.
Starting to remind me here when you're making mistakes like this of the Yankees in the World Series. Not quite that bad. Scott on the little quarterback draw there, faked the handoff and then took off.
Stop by the center of the Rams defense.
Center of the Rams line combines on a stop, gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Gain was for about 2.
Got 2:16 on the clock, Ken.
Gearity continues to alternate in that backfield. Slevin comes out this time as they alternate with the plays from Coach George Jeck. Wing left, Chiarella the wing goes in motion. Scott hands off to Gearity, and Gearity, not much of a gain, if at all. On the stop was Tony Priolo, the man that they regard as their best lineman at Southern Regional, number 73.
Yeah, he's a good-looking football player, and he's been playing well all night for the Southern Regional.
Right, he made a block last week that was really beautiful on the last touchdown that Southern scored against Toms River North. It was a long run down the near sideline, and Priolo just really took his man out and just enabled the back to go all the way.
Well,
It's good both ways.
Yeah, he's an outstanding young football player.
This is a 3rd down and 6. Slot to the right. Scott looking to the Slevin, who's got it. And he avoids Zulewski. He cut it inside. Picked up a couple of extra yards before Glynn makes the stop. Very close to a 1st down. They'll probably measure it.
Yeah, Ken, I think here it is on replay here. And an interesting thing is watch the Southern Regional Rams come to the football here. Okay, I mean, they come to play the game.
Officials timeout for a minute.
But the Raiders, they handled that very well. Scott reacted well to the pressure, hit his receiver.
Here you see Joe Scott standing next to Tony Priolo of Southern. And Verderosa, number 77 for East. watching this measurement. It looks like they're going to be short by about a foot.
You got 52 seconds.
Just inches short of a first down.
East fans yelling go.
It's easy from the seats, Ken, because you don't have to live with the decision.
A lot of people are still criticizing George Jeck for faking that punt in the brick game with 7 minutes to go and going for the first half. It worked. He'd been the hero of Tom's River.
That's right. The same guy would have called him a hero if he'd have done it. Great call, George, they would have said.
So the Raiders will go for it. They have the ball at the Sun Regional 37-yard line. 52 seconds left in a half. Raiders leading 7-0 over Southern. Pat Slevin gets a hold. He's got a first down or more before finally being ridden down by safety Paul McMahon. He's across the 30-yard line to about the 27, 10-yard play.
And Slevin hit the hole very, very quickly, and that right side of the Raider line fired off the ball real well. We can see it right here, the I formation, wing right. And Slevin hit the hole very, very quickly.
Raiders racing the clock, 27 seconds and running. Scott the throw, plenty of time. And overthrows Chirella. Flag on a play. Let's see if we got an interference back here. There were two East receivers close together. Chirella was one, and the other was, I believe, number 36. Let's see what the flag's going to be here. Jerry Grasso was the other one. That's going to be against the Raiders. It could be offensive pass interference.
Yeah, I was wondering for a minute there.
Offensive pass interference.
That's the call.
Against the Raiders. Still first down. First and
All right,
45.
still remains first down, but now, again, they lost seconds off that clock. 19 seconds to go. That pushes the ball back to the Southern Regional 43-yard line. First down. Looks like about 25 to go.
Out of field goal range, Ken, which is the big thing. They were a chance to drive into field goal range.
Scott keeps it. Comes around Slevin. And he's tripped up by Brett Glynn at the 40-yard line. He didn't get out of bounds, so the clock's going to run out. 5 seconds, and East will not get another play off. So they'll take a 7-0 lead in the locker room over Southern Regional, as that's the end of the half. The second quarter came your way by the New Jersey National Bank, along with the other participating sponsors, Marita Skiers Place, Dunkin' Donuts of Bayville, and Carolina Furniture. Ray and I will be back. Well, we'll have the halftime coming up moment half tonight. Bringing you the third quarter will be the New Jersey National Bank, along with participating sponsors, Blair's Rental Service, Luigi's Deli, and Carolina Furniture. Ken Turp and Ray Wilson, Tom's River East coming back now with a 7-0 lead as they scored early in the second quarter. Joe Scott 1-yard touchdown run. Highlight of the drive was a Joe Scott pass of 38 yards to Sal Chirella, which set up the touchdown, and that's the only scoring in the ball game. The Rams made a good goal line stand after that later on in the second period and turned back the Raiders inside the 5-yard line. So that's the way it stands as you see the Raiders breaking their huddle to receive this kickoff by the Southern Regional Rams. And a man who's had some problems with the punting is going to kick off, Ed Estock. He's had one snap over his head. He's dropped one, and it hasn't been a good night for the Ram punting game.
No, the kicking game has definitely been the key to the football game. It's got the Rams in a lot of trouble, and the Raiders have capitalized on it and kept the Rams off balance.
If you're interested, the rest of the schedule for the Rams of Southern, next week they will be home Saturday afternoon with Lakewood, and we have that game on Channel 8. Also, they will travel to Jackson on the 14th of November and close out with Central Regional at home on Thanksgiving Day. Here we go with the kickoff to start the second half. End over end, down the middle. Gearity at the 4, drops the ball. 10, 15, short of the 20, stacked up by number 74, no, 71, Blake Keenan. Raiders take over, 1st and 10. The rest of the Raiders schedule coming up for the rest of the season will include Toms River South next Friday night at home, Central Regional on the 14th away. That's a Saturday afternoon game, and Brick Memorial on Thanksgiving. Schiavo, tackled by Glynn and Malvey. 5 yards, well, it's about a 6-yard gain. Second, we're gonna make 2nd and 4. And by the way, we mentioned that Thanksgiving game, Brick Memorial. Ray will have that one on Channel 8 also. It'll be something new. As far as Channel 8, we've had the Toms River South Lakewood games, Central and Southern, and North and Brick, but we haven't done East on Thanksgiving yet.
I'll be a first, and East football program is growing and deserves that kind of recognition.
And not much of a hole for Pat Slevin as he ran into his own man, Seigler, and then that gave the Rams a chance to come in and close it up. Tilton, number 80, Seddon, number 22, Priolo, 73, all in there to make the stop. And by the way, looking ahead to next year, Ray, Toms River North and Toms River East, I believe, are going to play each other Thanksgiving, and the 2 brick schools will get together.
Yeah, I had heard something to that effect, Ken.
We have a 3rd down and 2 for the Raiders. Pitch coming in the near side, Slevin. He's got the 1st down. Good hard run. He carries
Another
2 white
flag.
shirts for a couple of extra yards.
The flag on the play, Ken.
Could be unnecessary roughness.
Well,
Now they're going to talk. Let's see now. This is going to be against Southern Regional.
The Rams are a hitting football team, and they go to the ball, and they're always coming, and sometimes they're a little bit over-aggressive.
That's going to push it into Ram territory at the 47-yard line, 43-yard line. 1st and 10, big break for Toms River East here. Get them in excellent field position. It was a good play anyway by East. They had a beautiful 1st down, and that's just icing on the cake as far as the Raiders are concerned. Here goes Schiavo up the middle, picks up a couple of yards, and a fired up Tony Priolo jumps off that tackle, number 73, jumping up and down.
Well, I'm sure that both teams were given fine halftime instructions by their team, by their coaching staffs, but I was going to be very surprised if Southern didn't come out really fired up for the 2nd half.
2nd and 8 for East. Here goes Schiavo, and he's got some nice yardage. Finally making the stop was McMahon, and he had some help from Glynn, 46. Another it's going to be short of the 1st down. Let's see where they're going to mark it. Looks about a yard short, right? It's 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, the Raiders are running very well off of the left side of their offensive line. Schiavo's hitting the hole very well and picking up good yardage, and the men up front are doing an excellent job blocking.
Malvey trying to fire up that front 4 there, up and down that line. Scott keeps it, and I believe he's not going to have it if they mark where his knee hit. Looked like his knee hit before he got the 1st down, right?
Yeah, I would think that it should be marked that way.
That's what they do. They move it back. So it's going to be 4th down. Big play for East. Adam Glanzman, 86, reports in for McKelvey at tight end.
The Rams stayed in their basic 52-54 defense that time.
4th and 1. Big play for Scott. He hands off to Skia. Wow. Gang tackling by the Rams, and I don't think he got it right. Schiavo is hit by 3 or 4 white shirts. On the bottom is Glynn, 46, and McMahon, 48.
Yeah, it was a big defensive play by Southern Region.
Rams take over. They hold again. Brett Glenn was our player of the game versus Southern St. Joe, and he's playing another good game tonight.
Okay, the Raiders will be on defense here. Probably stick to their basic 4-6-2 defense. 3 deep backs.
Slot to the far side. Seddon wants to throw. He's got time. He's going to go long. And almost picked off by Yatesy, number 7. Yatesy had position.
Pass was intended for number 46, I believe, is Brett Glenn.
He was the slot man to the far side. Here's the replay. Now you'll watch Yatesy almost had the interception. He had it in his hand, just couldn't hold on. They're going to the slot man down the far side. Good coverage by Yatesy. 2nd and 10. Again, Seddon straight back to set up. Good hard pass to Blackwell. Laid it right in there. 1st down for the Rams. The ball's at the 46.
Well, Ken, if this is any indication of the halftime adjustment, it looks like Coach Ron Emmert has decided that he's going to try to go over that front 4 of the Tom Zerist Raiders.
1st and 10. Rams, as Seddon hits his split end, Bob Blackwell for the 1st down at the 47-yard line. Schiavo right there to make the stop at midfield as Mouthy went up the middle. McKelvey again in to help out. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Ken, we have 6:51 left here in the 3rd quarter, and the first minutes went by rather quickly here.
All right, Blackwell goes to the far side as a split end. Ferenga's a slot man. Seddon has Blackwell once again for the 1st down as the ball's marked at the 37-yard line. So Seddon is sparking this drive with his throwing.
Yeah, and they've gone to the success they've had has come out of straight drop back type action. Ken, no play action.
Here's the replay.
Seddon is dropping back quickly.
He's getting the time from his offensive line.
About a 7-yard drop, steps up into the pocket and hits Blackwell. Looks like a little curl pattern.
Rams on the move. They trail 7-0. Mouthy straight ahead. Schiavo again on the stop. Number 47, the inside linebacker for Tom Zerist. Second down. Got about a half a yard. 2nd and a long 9. Here comes Blackwell to the near side. Ferenga in the slot. Mouthy and Modulowski in the backfield. Fake to Mouthy, pass to Ferenga, dropped. Ferenga wide open at the 30-yard line. Just couldn't hold the ball as he was in the midst of turning around.
Yes, a little bit of play action, and the slot back went behind the wide receiver in a little out pattern and off of play action.
There you see George Jeck, and the head coach, 3rd year, former assistant to Warren Wolf at Brick Township High School. 3rd and 9. Seddon to throw. Gonna roll. Throws on the run. And dropped. He had his man. They dropped the football. Tilton couldn't hold on. He threaded the needle, got it right in there, even though there were 3 black shirts around, and Tilton had it in his arms and dropped it.
Yeah, football should have been caught. It was delivered. Seddon did a good job of avoiding the pressure and put the ball on the money.
There you see Coach Ronnie Emmert in the background there with a clipboard in his hand, walking to the left. Ronnie, of course, used to be head basketball coach at Southern Regional. Then when he got the head football job, he had to give up the basketball coaching.
Yeah, I think Ron was coach for 2 or 3 years. I'm not exactly sure at the
I
time.
think he succeeded Art Chris, who's now director of athletics. Fake pump by Seddon. Here comes the pressure. He escapes
Got
it.
a man wide open down there.
He's going in the end zone for Tilton. Tilton can't get it. I believe Tilton pushed off. Looked like Tilton pushed off
offensive
on Scott.
pass interference.
Offensive interference. Tilton pushed Scott off as he tried to get some room to catch that pass. And now see how they're going to call it. That's the way I saw it, but apparently Rams, here's a replay. Let's watch it, Ray. Watch this. Now Seddon, who's very strong, just straight arms McKelvey. Throws on the run. Now what? Right there.
Yeah, left hand.
Looked like Tilton pushed off.
I thought it was offensive, Ken.
They're going to march it off against East. Well, the East fans don't like the call either. The officials didn't see it the way we saw it.
Yeah, George Jeck's got his hat off, and he didn't see it the way we saw it either.
George is really mad. There's George on the field with his hat off. And when he takes his, there you see George. When he takes his hat off, he is angry. And George is very angry. He's going to go over to the official now. There you see Coach Jeck. And I got to agree with Coach Jeck. I think he has a beef there.
Yeah, I'm sure that hasn't seen the replay.
Unless I missed something that East did. I just saw the push by Tilton. Mouthy. Loose football. No signal yet from the official. Apparently Southern's retained possession. On the bottom, getting up, is number 51, Rob Robinson, the center.
Can it almost happen again so far tonight for Southern Regional? After every big play they've made and another down or two, they've made a crucial mistake.
Well, Southern's been getting some bad breaks, so now maybe it's going to even up a little bit here in the second half. 2nd down and 8.
Bootleg action.
Pressure's on Seddon. He throws as he's being hit. He's got a man, and I believe it's a touch. A great catch. Tremendous catch by Blackwell. Now let's see if the official calls him inbounds.
Wait a minute. He signaled.
That may be the question.
Wait a minute.
Super catch by Blackwell. Apparently they're going to rule him as out of bounds. They're going to bring it back. Blackwell really made a great effort. So they say he's out of bounds. They'll bring it back. 3rd down and 8.
Fans are a little unhappy.
Fans are a little vociferous over here on the east side. Seddon looking to the man in motion. Modulowski's got him. Modulowski's still on his feet. Modulowski touchdown. Beautiful run by Chris Modulowski. That was one beautiful effort. Touchdown, Southern Regional. Let's get the distance on that.
That's 20 yards, Ken.
Watch the replay. Watch Modulowski go in motion. Now right away, Seddon's going to look to him. He avoids the tackle right there, kept his balance, and Schiavo unable to bring him down.
Yeah, little flare pass from John Seddon, and Chris Modulowski took it in 20 yards, maybe 22 yards for the touchdown.
4 minutes and 27 seconds left in the 3rd quarter as the Rams get on a scoreboard. Going for two. Blackwell in motion. Seddon looking for Blackwell. Picked off. The attempt is no good. Vinnie Gearity intercepted the pass. The score remains Toms of East 7, Southern 6. We'll be right back. There you see a shot of the scoreboard showing East still leading 7-6. Great play by Gearity on defense. Ray, they ran the same play they scored a touchdown on, only it was to the opposite side with Blackwell, the man in motion, instead of Modulowski.
Right, and of course, they didn't hit him in the backfield. They had flared Modulowski.
So the score remains, well, it doesn't remain, but it'll be 7-6 in favor of East, Gearity keeps his team in the lead as he intercepted the 2-point conversion attempt by Seddon, intended for Blackwell. Estock picks off. Good kick. Down to the 7. Gearity, the man who intercepted the pass on the return. Gearity, good return.
Good return, almost
Only ridden out of
broke it.
bounds at the 32-yard line.
Well,
25-yard return, right?
I wouldn't want to be in the same room with George Jeck and his coaching staff when they look at the film, obviously, on that interference call, because I don't think they weren't too happy as it is, and when they see it, I don't think they're going to be very happy.
I'm sure Ronnie Emmert's glad to get a few breaks here. The first half wasn't going his way at all, and the Rams take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah.
So give him credit. Comes the pitch. Slevin's going to get around a corner. And good effort on defense to keep that from being a big gainer by Seddon, the quarterback, who's playing safety on defense, because Slevin really turned the speed on, turned the corner, and Seddon kept that one from being a really big gainer.
Yeah, and Slevin surprises you with his speed, especially off the line of scrimmage. You know, he does a real good job.
There was a good block on Brett Glynn. I didn't get the number of the East blocker, but that enabled Slevin to turn the corner. 1st and 10 Raiders, their own 44. Schiavo up to the 47. Gain of 4 in a play. Tackle made by Tony Priolo, 73.
Slevin limped off the field after that last running play also, and he's down here on the sideline trying to work. I haven't determined whether it's a knee or an ankle, or he just got a Charlie horse.
2nd down, 6. Scott the throw.
Little play action.
Going long. Incomplete. Intended for number 36, Bob Valente, the split end. Covering on the play was McMahon, a safety, and Seddon.
Yeah, just a little quick play action in the backfield. The back set up and blocked, and Scott delivered the pass down the middle.
2 minutes, 50 seconds left. 3rd quarter. Tom Zarice leading Southern Regional 7-6.
Yeah, I think we got exactly the kind of football game that the Shore experts and coaches around the area thought it would be. It's a tough defensive football game.
Here's the reverse. Chiarella and Ken Giannotti really broke that play up. Priolo and Giannotti penetrated, waited, and we're waiting right for Chiarella to come around. Giannotti jumped on him. Big loss on the play.
And the Southern Regional coaching staff was ecstatic over there. Coach Tony Semarini was doing a little war dance on Giannotti's great play.
Here's the replay.
Here we see it. A little influence this way. And here's Giannotti.
Priolo right there with him. Here's the punt. And it's going to be a bouncer right along the east sideline. And covered there by Chevrier, number 34. No return.
Not a real good punt, Ken, and we keep talking about that kicking game, but it has been so important tonight.
Don't forget, be here tomorrow night on Channel 8 at 8 o'clock for our Lacey Township Toms River South ball game. The people down in Forked River area are going to be up for that game with the Indians coming to town. Seddon, quarterback keep, loses the football, and East, I believe, has it. I couldn't tell who was on it right. Maybe McKelvey, 87. I believe McKelvey's the man. He's getting congratulated.
Yep.
2 minutes and 5 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. East will take over. Here's a replay. Seddon gets a good game, but forgot the football.
And McKelvey dove in on the football.
Pitch to the near side. And that is Gearity. He is tackled by Tilton, number 80, and Gus, or make it number 74. Al Acosta. We got 3 Acostas, Al, George, and Gus.
37-yard line.
Al, a 6'1", 5'8", 160-pounder. 2nd down and 8. Jump pass, drop. Now Scott fumbles it right back. I think he was going to attempt the jump pass, right?
Yeah, it was. That's an old Bricktown play.
Lost the handle on the football. Now let's see what the officials decide. Looked like Southern got it.
Yeah, I don't think he was throwing it. I think they would have to rule that a fumble.
Yeah, he never had a chance to get it all. Here's the replay. We'll watch now. I think he just lost
Yeah, he's going in
the
there.
handle on it. Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
May have been Slevin's knee coming around there. Looks like Slevin might have bumped into him.
East has opened up. They keep going back to their offensive left hand to the right side of the Southern Regional defense, which they must feel is a little bit weaker.
They keep the football, but they still have a 3rd and 8. Coming to the end of the quarter here. Slevin got a hole and closed very quickly. Excellent lateral movement by Mouthy, the linebacker.
Super. That looked like Slevin was going to break it up through there, and that hole closed as quickly as it opened.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with a score. Tom's Reese 7, Southern Regional 6. The 3rd quarter came your way by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Blair's Rental Service, Luigi's Deli, and Carolina Furniture. We'll be back in a moment. The 4th quarter tonight, along with Carolina Furniture, Service Star Hardware, and Gem Furniture. Just about ready to go with the 4th quarter. Ken Turp with Ray Wilson. Verderosa, no pressure, near sideline, out of bounds, somewhere around the 20. And the East Band strikes it up.
And ball's out even, Ken, beyond the 25-yard line, more like the 27-yard line. So the
Here you see one of the East cheerleaders.
On the kicking game was not outstanding that time.
Seddon looking to throw. Verderosa puts the pressure on, and then Seigler polishes it off. Verderosa had him, and then Seigler came in and put the finishing touches on him.
Real good job by the Raider defense that time.
Here's the replay. Watch Verderosa come from that right end. And then here's Seigler on a tackle.
Yeah, not a good job by number 71, Blake Keenan, that time on Verderosa.
Big loss on the play. 2nd and 20. Seddon, option, keeps it, and not much of a gain. East defense, and there's McKelvey once again, and we've called his name quite a few times tonight.
Yeah, he's playing a good football game.
Third down for Southern. They need about 17. Now the Southern band starts as the East band just quit. Southern takes up the challenge. Draw. Mouthy, very good run, but he's going to be short of a first down. Excellent draw play. Tackle was made by Chevrier, the left outside linebacker.
And that's that draw play that we talked about earlier in your Ken. The quarterback drops back behind the blocking back and hands the ball off forward. But it's still too early in the 4th quarter, I think, for Southern to go for it. I think it is definitely a kicking situation.
4th and 2.
4th and 2. Over 9 minutes left in the ball game. There's a little uncertainty here, and the Rams are taking a timeout. Rams look a little bit disorganized out there right now.
And Ed Sarluca had started on the field. Now he comes back to see Coach Jeck for a minute. There goes Ed Sarluca on the field right now, wearing a ski cap. And there you see, I believe that's Dave D'Eugenio there in the Rams huddle with a clipboard under his hand. Dave, of course, had his battle of the family last week with his 2 sons playing for Toms River North in our game of the week on Channel 8 last week.
I don't envy anybody in that position, Ken. That's got to be a tough job to be preparing your team to go out and hit your sons all week long.
Now we have 9 minutes, 46 seconds left in this ball game. East trying to pull off what would be described as a mild upset, as most of the predictions said that East was going to win this, Southern was going to win this ball game.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess most of the people were going with the Rams.
Estock is ready to punt. Gets a good snap, no pressure, return is on. Fair catch, Gearity at the 41-yard line.
The Raiders take over on their own 41-yard line, first down and 10.
9:39. Raiders take over, 1st and 10, just over their own 40-yard line.
Well, the rain is held off, Ray. Turned out to be a good night for football.
Good night. A little breezy, little chilly, but excellent night for football.
Wing right. Scott fakes to Schiavo, sets up. He's got time. And overthrown. Slevin down the far sideline. Scott is decked as the Rams got to him. Number 60 got to Scott. Chris Bulow, the nose man.
And Mr. Giannotti was also in the general area.
Second and 10 for the Raiders. Trying to get some breathing room here, want another touchdown. Slevin on the pitch. Stacked up by Blackwell and Giannotti. Not going anywhere.
Ken, we were talking about names we're hearing. We've been mentioning Giannotti a lot. Giannotti's all over the field here.
They've got 2 excellent ends in Giannotti and Tilton.
Blackwell played that very well.
Coaches were telling us last week, just talking about Dave D'Eugenio, who's telling us before the game with North that they're really pleased with Blackwell as a defensive back. They think he's developed into one of the best.
Well, he's got real good size here, 6'4", 185 pounds.
Manham, they're going to set up now with a wing to the left. Flag on the play, maybe delay of game or illegal procedure against East. 5-yard penalty. Puts the ball back on the 35. Delay of game, 3rd down and 17.
The Raiders have the lead here, but seems like the little mistakes are starting to haunt the Raiders now, as they were doing to the Southern Regional Rams in the first half.
Scott throws out in the flat. Not going to go anywhere. That was kind of like a screen because they had Verderosa, a one-man blocker out there for Chirella. but the Rams were ready for it.
And in that case there too, Ken, I think by Verderosa, no block was a good block, because I think if he'd have thrown it, it would have definitely been from behind.
So Verderosa's got a kick. Blackwell McMahon dropping back for Southern at the 35. Verderosa kicking to McMahon on the 25. 30 at the 30-yard line, advanced to 37. 7-yard return. 1st and 10 for Southern.
The tackle that time was made by a host of Raiders.
Well, the Rams have got to go to work now. They got a little over 7 minutes to work with. They're trailing by a point. They've got to put a drive on here. They've got to get down there at least get in field goal range. And I don't know how good a place kicker Seddon is.
You got a long 60-some yards to go.
Seddon running and hits his man in front of the bench, Blackwell, who we were just talking about.
Well, turned a potential loss in there. Good pressure applied by the Raiders, and Seddon, a big, strong kid, shakes out of a lot of that pressure and manages to get the ball off.
Well, he got a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
Second down, about 5 yards to go. Ball on the 43-yard line.
Seddon's done a very good job of staying out of trouble back there most of the night.
McMahon has a 1st down for Southern Regional. Making the stop, Chevrier, number 34, just short of midfield. First and 10 Rams at the 47.
7-19, Ken. The Rams are look like they have a little bit of momentum here moving the football.
Seddon throwing a quick look in, got Tilton. Another 1st down for Southern Regional. 10-yard gain on a play. Tackled by Scott, the safety.
And there it is, Ken. Just shows how much of a key to that offense the dive is for Southern Regional. A lot of their offense comes right off the dive and faking it.
On the rear, 43.
This time Seddon hands off, but it didn't go anywhere. No gain on a play. Mouthy was stacked up by number 56, Chris Schultz.
No gain on the play. Second down and 10.
2nd and 10. Flanker to the far side, Ferenga. Here's the quick pass over the middle, dropped by Tilton. 3rd and 10.
It wasn't a real well thrown ball. It was down by Tilton's ankles, and if he did catch the ball, it would have been a super catch.
Well, the Rams need a big play here.
Well, they might, in their eyes, Ken, right now be in the 4-down zone. I kind of think that they probably feel they got 2 downs to get 10 right now. Although they could kick for a field position.
It's Sarluca frantically waving to drop back to his East Raiders. Seddon takes the...
He got it off.
Completed it to Mouthy. I don't know how he did that. Unbelievable underhand toss as he was going down.
Ken, was it even underhanded or left-handed? I'd like to...
It was left-handed. I think it was underhanded. What? Let's see a replay of this. Raider fans booing. I don't know why they're booing. It was a super play. Looked like he just shoveled it with his left hand.
It was a great play. It should happen, you know, big, strong kid. It was a great defensive play. The pressure was put on. Let's not
well, we're not going to get to see it again, so.
No.
Happened very quickly. 4th and still 10.
Deflected.
Incomplete.
McKelvey.
Once again in there to get a hand on it. Deflected that ball. Big play by Tom Zivarice, and if East can hold on and win this game, McKelvey has to be a prime candidate for player of the game. So the Raiders hold with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left in this game. They would like to get a couple of first downs here and heat up the clock.
Yeah, they got to grind out a few first downs and control the football.
Pitch to Slevin, off the left side. Glynn comes up to make the stop with Tilton. We'll be right back. Scott looking to throw, and he slips as he tried to cut it in. Gonna take a loss on a play. Giannotti there, Priol putting the pressure on for the Rams.
Now we got 4:10 on the clock, and it's third down. We got third and a long 12 for the Tom Zivarice Raiders. Big down.
Third and 12. The Raiders run it with Slevin. Good, strong effort. He's going to be short of a first down by about 3 yards.
Ball's going to be marked right on the 50-yard line.
Seddon on a stop. Here's a replay, Ray.
Okay, they're in the I formation. Reverse pivot, Scott Slevin. Slevin has a real knack for finding the hole and breaking through there quickly. Well, this is what Coach Jeck gets paid for right now. Fourth down, about 3 yards to go. Clock's running, 2:49 in the fourth quarter.
And here George sends his punting unit on. So Southern's going to get a shot here with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in this game. Delay of game, 5 yards against East. Verderosa standing at the 30-yard line. Low line drive punt. McMahon gets away from it and lets it roll and takes a great Tom Zivarice roll all the way down to the 7. Excellent roll by Verderosa's punt.
Down about the 6 or 7 yard line after an intentional delay of the game by Tom Zivarice to eat up some time.
So Southern really has their work cut out for them now. They trail by a point, and they got to go 93 yards. Seddon throwing down the middle. He's got Modulowski. First down, Southern Regional. That's a good way to start. Quickly they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're out in their 2-minute O.
First and 10 at the 27. 2:08 left in this ball game. Been one heck of a defensive game here tonight.
Yeah. Thing here right now is Seddon throws the ball too well for Tom Zivarice to relax at all or feel comfortable.
Shotgun. Seddon has a man open, hits Tilton, and Tilton can't get out. That clock's going to continue to run as Gearity made the stop. Rams have to hurry. 1:45 and running. Second down and 3. Again, the shotgun. Seddon hits Blackwell to Drops the football.
Incomplete. Well,
Incomplete.
stops,
Good coverage by Schiavo.
stops the clock.
Let's stop the clock. 1 minute, 31 seconds left in the ball game. Third down and 3. Glenn to the far side. Seddon on the run. Seddon incomplete, intended for Glynn. Seddon really handled that well. He stepped up, avoided a couple tacklers, kept his poise, but he couldn't hick up with Brett Glenn. 4th and 3, Ray.
Yep, and it's we're down to 121.
Rams got to go here, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's obvious they've got to go for it. The Raiders secondary actually played that very, very well, and actually their front people contained pretty decently. They didn't let Seddon get away. I'm surprised Seddon just didn't try to run that for the first down when he had the opportunity there.
Seddon sets up. Incomplete. The Raiders take over. Trying to hit Modulowski. Tom Zuris has held. They've got 1 minute and 18 seconds to run out of this ball game. All they got to do is hang on to the football.
Southern.
I'm still going to wait here to see how this game goes before I announce our player of the game.
Now look, Ken, here's interesting that Toms River East has somebody way back here.
Shades of the Meadowlands.
Cover for the fumble.
A lot of teams have picked this up after what happened to the Giants a couple years ago against the Eagles up at the Meadowlands.
I believe Southern has one more timeout left.
Timeout Southern Regional. Schiavo's gain was for about 2 yards. Second down and 8.
Tony Sermarini joins the defensive huddle coach of Southern Regional. You're going to see Chiarella stand back there all night for Toms River East. He's not even going to go in the huddle. He's just going to stand back there and play safety on offense. See if we can get a shot of Chiarella back here. He's standing way back at the 48-yard line of Toms River East. He's not even huddling up.
Well, Ken, of course the game isn't over, but it is the type of football game that we expected.
Got 2 men back there now, Ray. Raiders have 2 men, Slevin and Chiarella, not even going near the huddle. They're back at midfield. And Scott falls down. Slevin and Chiarella, there they are. There's Slevin and Chiarella. They're just standing back there. It's actually a 9-man offensive huddle. 1 minute and 3 seconds left.
1:30.
Ronnie Emmert needs that football. He needs something. This player's got to strip the ball, and Scott's just falling down.
We're talking about third down with 1:03 on the clock.
Third down. So George Jeck runs on the field. There you see Coach Jeck going over to talk to his East Raiders. They've got a Southern's hoping they can get their hands on this football once more.
Well, Ken, I think that I think they're going to have to get their hands on the football here one more time. I don't think that without a delay of game, East can run the clock all the way out.
again, Scott just falls down. Clock running, 57. And they'll huddle up. Southern out of timeouts. Well, East will probably take a delay of game, take the 5-yard penalty, Ray, and just run off as much as they can of that clock.
Oh yeah,
They're not going to come out of that huddle until the official calls a penalty. 30 seconds running.
Well, I tell you, standing over the sideline for Toms River East, and just looking up there.
There's the flag there.
Time doesn't tick fast enough. On the other side, they're just looking over, and that clock just seems to be running down like it's going out of style.
Stop the clock with 22 seconds left, 5-yard penalty. Well, I'm going to take a chance and announce the player of the game, Ray. And it's going to be the one we were talking about all night long, Jay McKelvey, defensive end of the Raiders, is number 87. He is our player of the game. Congratulations, Jay McKelvey, 6'3", 188-pound junior, tight end and defensive end for Toms River East. And mainly we're citing him for his great defensive play tonight. He's just been brilliant. Ray's going to head on down. We'll wrap up down on the field with McKelvey.
No, leave him for now.
And the Toms River East coaches are going to head on down. There's a shot of the scoreboard. Yeah, this lived up to its advanced billing as the game we had hoped for. One bruising battle here, and Toms River East keeping excellent shot now for those playoff hopes, South Jersey Group 4, with Brick being in the driver's seat right now with the undefeated record. And East would love another shot at Brick in those playoffs. Remember 2 years ago we had Toms River North and Brick play back-to-back games, Thanksgiving game and then up in the Meadowlands with both teams splitting, Brick winning the Thanksgiving game and Toms River North winning the Meadowlands for the state championship. 4th down. Scott just goes down very easily, and the clock is stopped with 17 seconds left in this game. So the Rams have their final shot right here as they take over on downs. They have 17 seconds on the clock, and they are 56 yards away. Don't forget, though, that if they can possibly get, they're going to have a problem. They have no timeouts left. Even to line up for a field goal would be pretty hard to do if they get in close. And there it is, the last shot, Schiavo on the interception. That'll be the ball game. 7 seconds, 6. That's it. Chris Schiavo picks off the pass of John Seddon, and Toms River East is going to win this football game. 6 seconds left as the ball will exchange hands here. The clock is stopped. They have to get the players off the field here before they can resume play. So Chris Schiavo hammers the last nail in the Southern Regional coffin tonight. That's the ball game. Toms River East wins it 7-6. And let me tell you, the fourth quarter came your way tonight by the New Jersey National Bank, along with Carolina Furniture, Service Star Hardware, and Gem Furniture. Ray and I will be back with a post-game show with our guest, player of the game, Jay McKelvey. A two-way end for Toms River East. And Jay, congratulations on a great game tonight. And I guess you got to be pretty happy.
Well, thanks a lot. And it was a hard effort, and I put a lot into it in the off season, and it paid off very well.
How do you attribute yourself to being such a good pass rusher?
Well, I guess it's 6'3". I can get up there like 10 feet jumping, so I can block a lot of passes.
You did one tonight. That must have felt pretty good.
Well, yeah, I was dreaming about being the MVP for some reason, and it just happened.
What was your primary job tonight on defense? Was it to tee off and go after Seddon, or did you have responsibilities as far as watching for the run? What were you thinking about out there?
Well, I had responsibilities of outside, keep Seddon inside so he wouldn't take it around the end, and that's how I was able to block the pass to the flat.
It would look to me like he's a pretty hard guy to get a hold of. He's got very good strength. He's got big, strong legs. He's a big guy like yourself. I would imagine he's pretty tough to tackle.
He is. I had him twice. Once I got him, but he let go of the ball. The other time I chased him and he gave me a stiff arm. I could have had a sack. But
another thing that impresses me about him is that he has great poise. If the pressure's on, he'll step up in the pocket. He doesn't get rattled, and that's why I think you guys did such a super job tonight, because you were against a veteran quarterback who's got a lot of poise.
Yeah, he rolled out, and I didn't dive after him right away, because then I might slip and he might take it around the end. I just stayed with him and tried to block his vision.
You guys got a pretty darn good defensive unit. This is a battle of two great defenses tonight. Are you guys pretty close off the field as well as on it?
We're very close, you know, very intense before the game, and it's mostly our defense that did it tonight.
Okay, I'm going to ask you what was said at halftime tonight when you went into the locker room with your slim lead there. What did the coaches tell you?
The coaches said if you could put a score on, we'll hold them, but we didn't put a score on, but our defense really stuck together, so we were able to hold on.
You'd be pretty proud of what you did tonight, because, like I said, you're playing a really good team, and their offensive unit all year long has been scoring the points. We saw last week against Toms River North, they rolled up quite a few points.
Yeah, well, it was a big victory for us, and we'll hope to be ranked up there now.
All right. I'm going to give you your plaque, and Jay, there it is. We'll hold it up so the fans can see it. And let me shake your hand, say congratulations on a great super effort.
Okay, thank you very much.
Good luck to you. Okay. Jay McKelvey, the player of the game. And Ray, you want to get in here real fast and talk to one of the coaches here? I think you got Coach Jeck.
George, first of all, congratulations on a super game. And Ken, I'm going to put him right on. Going to put him right on the spot here. I'm going to ask him what happened to that wide open offense he was talking about here before this ball game.
Well, I had planned to throw the ball a lot against them. They're very tough inside. We were going to hit them with quick hitters. Their nose guard gave us a lot of trouble. They have some great football players on that team. When the score got to be tight, I threw a couple times when it was tight, but I didn't want to give them anything. The defense was playing super, so right in the middle of the ball game, I said to myself, look, let the defense ride and don't get them in trouble, and that's the way it worked out.
George, you know, I know coaches don't like to think and even talk this way, but everything goes well, and the Raiders finish out the season without another loss. And we talk about playoff time around the corner. I see the possibility of another of a rematch with the team down the road that wears, what color is that? Green and white, I think.
If that's to be, then so be it. Right now, we're just going to play against Toms River South, and if that's where the chips fall, fine. You know, this was a great win for us. We had a cause tonight. Our trainer's been in the hospital sick, and our kids wanted to win the ball game so we could give them the game ball. And I think the defense did one hell of a job tonight.
They played a super football game, and your defensive coordinator's over here. Ken, you want to?
Yeah, I wanted to get Ed Sarluca in here because we're just talking to Jay McKelvey. And Ed, I got to admit, you had a super effort tonight. I didn't expect you to be able to hold Southern to 6 points. I mean, they've had such a great offensive display this year. They have such great balance with Zulewski and Malley and Seddon's arm. And you got to be very proud of what they did tonight.
Outstanding job by, I'll tell you, Coach Zulewski and Coach Tirella and the secondary Coach Zulewski with the linebackers and our defensive line. Coach Emmert, I think, summed up the whole ball game. After the game, I got him on the side and I said, "Great game, Coach," you know. And he said, "Coach, our offensive line has never, ever been controlled the way they have been tonight." And I think that sums up our defense. We tried to do that. We tried to shut down Mouthy, who's a great runner inside, and then try to contain Seddon outside, which, you know, the kid is a great quarterback. And, you know, we had to give up a little bit in the middle, and our defense sucked it up, and our offense got that one touchdown, and I knew it would be enough. We were just totally prepared. It was just a great coaching effort on everybody's part. We had a super week in practice, and like Coach said, we're just ready for Toms River South. We're not going to be thinking playoff. Let them write what they want in the paper, but Toms River South is ahead of us, and you know when Toms River plays Toms River, it's going to be a good ball game.
It had to be extra tough because even though you controlled their linemen and yet you put all that pressure on Seddon's so poised that he still makes it tough because he can step up in that pocket and he doesn't lose his poise and he still does a job.
Exactly, exactly. We knew we couldn't stop them. I went into the game saying, hey, they're going to get maybe 10 points, maybe 2 touchdowns. I said, Coach Jeck, if you could get us 2 or 3, you know, I think we're going to win the ball game. And as it turned out, 1 was enough. Just a super job, totally. Total team effort. I mean, everybody. You know.
Okay. We're going to wish you guys best of luck in your game next week. Right now, savor this one for a little while tonight.
Oh, yeah, I think we'll do a little party.
All right, Ed. George?
I might even have one tonight.
All right, have
Yeah.
a good time tonight
Thanks
because
for
you
doing
really
the job.
you really earned it, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Always a pleasure seeing you.
All right. Ray, I wanted to mention one thing before we sign off tonight. We had a couple of injured ball players, and I wanted to say we wish them a speedy recovery. One is Brian Biankowski, the split end of Toms River South. We had the game on TV where he was going up for a pass in the end zone, was hit, had a punctured lung. I understand he is home now. And any of you Indian fans want to send Brian a card, I hope you will do that, and we wish him well. And also Mark Fedorchik, who was hurt in practice last week for Toms River North, did not play last week against Southern, and he was in the hospital with surgery. And I understand he's come home and he will be back in school next week. So we're glad to hear that. And for you North fans, might want to wish him well. Certainly for Mark Fedorchik too. We hope they'll be back soon.
Yeah, nobody likes to see a young